Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Keeneland Racecourse here on Saturday. It is the 5th of October 2024. Going to look at the stakes action on the program from Keeneland, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingGet5 for more selections for racecourses around the world, and I mean around the world. We're going to look at the all stakes pick 5 here, races 6 through 10, so a lot of action to get to. Let's start off with the 6th race from Keeneland, which is the Woodford Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $350,000 purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards here. We have a field of 15 horses entered, but only 12 could go to the turf course, the 1,100-meter journey, or 5.5 furlongs on the Keeneland turf course. Gonna go with the 8-horse Super Quest as a top selection. Let's go 8, 10, 6, 1 in the superfecta. 8, 10, 6, 1 Super, top selection 8-horse Super Quest. This 4-year-old colt by Munnings here. Mark Hasse trains. Jose Ortiz gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came on the 2nd of September at Saratoga. 5.5 furlongs in the Harvey Pack Stakes, and the horse finished third by 3/4 of a length that day. And he was dueling with him early on after not the best beginnings. He was a little bit wide. He had the lead. Big Invasion caught him late. Ran terrific racing, ran very terrifically in Southern California last week in the Eddie Dido, though. But this horse, he ran his heart out that day on the front end. Coming here to Keeneland, where he'll be, going for it most of the race, flying on the front end. I think from a wide poster, he could probably hold on to it and run a good race here today. He ran in at Saratoga prior to that 5.5 on the Mellon 20th of July in an optional 80 claimer, and what anybody knows, flying it, gunning it on the front end, he went away with it. 101 flat, 97 buyer. That was a very good run, best buyer of his life that day. And then the Get Serious a Monmouth over the 5 on the 16th of June. He finished second by 2.25 lengths that day, and again, he was flying on the front end. He got caught late, but he ran his heart out. The thing with him is just keep going. Let's see how far his speed goes up. He's training at Saratoga well. I'm going to give him a shot here on the ticket. I think the 10 horse here, Arzak, could pick up some pieces late if Super Quest just yields late. Michael Trombetta trains, gets Torres up in the saddle. He ran the Harvey Pack most recently, where he finished fourth by 2.25 lengths that day, where he just needs something more, but he got around the race course well. His race in the Wolf Hill at Monmouth prior to that over the 5.5 wasn't bad at all, where he finished third by 3/4 in length. And then his Jaipur, he closed up terrifically behind Cogburn that day, and then he won on this turf course in the Shakertown earlier this year, and won this race last year from a wide post draw. He likes his turf course. He'll probably see a good pace to close up into if Super Quest kind of yields late. I'm going to give him a shot here on this pick 5 ticket, but to recount my selection for the 6 from Keeneland, it is the Woodford Stakes. We're going to take a shot with the 8-horse Super Quest, give kudos to the 10-horse Arzak, 8, 10, 6, 1 Super, 8, 10 in the multi-race. 7th race from Keeneland. It is the Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes. It's a Grade 2 event going for a $350,000 purse race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 7 horses going 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs here in the Thoroughbred Club of America. I'm going to go with a 1 horse, Clearly Unhinged. I'm going to go 1-6-3-7 in the superfecta. 1-6-3-7 super. Top selection, 1 horse, Clearly Unhinged. This 4-year-old Flibe into the mischief. Steve Asmussen trains. Christian Torres gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in the Pink Ribbon at Charlestown, 7 furlongs on the 23rd of August, and he finished second by 3/4 of a length that day, and he was off and on the lead. He had the lead. The winner caught him late, but he ran his heart out that day. Coming here today to Keeneland, where he has some farthy pace, he's a little bit of a versatile type, come from a little bit behind. I think he could run a good race here today. I didn't think he ran half bad in the honorable miss at Saratoga, 2 back over the 6, where he finished third by 1/4 lengths. Spirit Wind caught him, but again, he was running down the race course well that day, and the winning colors at Churchill over the 6 back in May, he won by 1/4 lengths, and on the front end, he just went away with it. Even first off the bench back in April here in optional 85 furlongs off turf, winning by 2.25 lengths on the front end. Again, he went away with it. Since cutting back and tripping, since coming to the West Coast, to the East Coast from the West, it's really improved a lot. Coming here today, 3-1. He's my, single in this pick 5 sequence, so let's use him there. To recap my selection for the 7th now from Keeneland, it is the Thoroughbred Club of America Stakes. We're going to take the 1 horse, Clearly Unhinged, 1-6-3-7 super. We're going to single the 1 in the multi-race. To the lawn with the 8th race now from Keeneland. It is the First Lady Stakes. It's a Grade 1 event going for a $750,000 purse race for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 11 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile here in the First Lady. I love the 11 horse White Beam as a top selection. I'm going to go 11-4-2-8 for me in the Superfecta. 11-4-2-8 Super, top selection 11 horse White Beam. 5-year-old mare by Caravaggio here. Chad Brown trains. Florent Giroux gets the mount for Juddmonte. They ran the horse most recently in the Diana at Saratoga, mile and a half on the inner 13th of July, and it was a success for this horse, winning it not nearly as easy, well, probably easier than it was last year. She was on the front end going all the way and set some good fractions, quickened up nicely. She went away with it, a very good run that day. Last year was probably a little bit harder, where she had to come off the pace, but from the back of the pack. But she ran the Just Game prior to that off the bench at Saratoga, a mile on the 7th of June, where she finished second by half a length that day. Chili Flag just really ran a terrific race to get the job done. But this horse, she stalked. She was closing up well late. Not a bad race in the feet. Probably here they go a little bit faster than they did that day in the Just Game. And then the Bugatti Aqueduct over the mile 16th of May. She finished second by a neck off the bench. Nisa Marie had the jump on her. She was just wide. And, she just needed the race, just kind of yielded that day. But, since coming to America, she's really improved a lot. She won the Gallarat last year. She upset in the Diana 8-1 in the in great style last year with Hunter Buyer. I think ran the First Lady off the bench last year, which probably needed the race. But she's training well coming to this one. I'm going to give her a shot here at 7-2. I think the 4-horse here, Gina Romantica for Chad and Jose Ortiz, could win also. Nearly in the Boston Spa a few weeks ago at Saratoga over the mile 16. She finished second by a neck, and she just missed. She was a little bit wide. She just couldn't get there late, but she ran just as good as the winner. Prior to the Diana at Saratoga over the mile and the 8th, she finished third by 3/4 length. Again, a little bit wide, but she was closing up well late. And then in the Just a Game, she finished 5th by 5 1/4 lengths. The inner turf course just wasn't playing towards her liking. She likes this turf course. Only defeat on this turf course came last year's Jenny Wiley, where she just couldn't get there. But she won this race last year at 11.5-1, and won the QE2 Cup as a 3-year-old 2 seasons ago. So refreshing here. 3-1. I'm going to give her a shot on the ticket. And even the 2-horse Tarawa for Hayes and Dermot Weld, coming in from Ireland, and she's been facing tough horses over there. She'll finally see that fast ground that she's been crying out for. I'll give her a shot here at 9-2 in this pick 5. But it's a very wide open race here. I think this is probably the most wide open race of the sequence. But to recount my selection for the 8th from Keeneland, it is the First Lady. Going to take the 11-horse White Beam. We'll give kudos to the 4-horse Gina Romantica and the 2-horse Tarawa. 11-4-2-8 Super, 11-4-2 in the multi-race. Featured 9th race now from Keeneland. It is the Breeders' Futurity. It's a Grade 1 event going for a purse $600,000 race for 2-year-olds here. Field of 11 horses going 1,700 meters or a lap around the main track, going the mile 16th trip on the main track, starting and ending at the 16th pole. I'm going to go with the 5-horse here at East Avenue. 5-1-10-4 for me in the Superfecta. 5-1-10-4 Super. Top selection of 5-horse East Avenue. Churro Copa Medaglia de Oro. Godolphin owned and bred this horse. Brendan Walsh trains. Tyler Gaffleone gets the mount. They ran the horse on debut, going 6th at Ellis in a main specialweight back in August, and it was a success going away, winning by 8 lengths that day. He basically won it on the rail, quickened up nicely. Not a bad race at all. Refreshed here around 2 turns, shouldn't be a problem. They get a little over bet the Brendan Walsh horses going sprinter route, but they do run good races, and his 2-year-olds have really been doing wonders lately. He is training well also. Half mile drill 49 well and a half mile 47 flat at Churchill. 6th best workout 99. Refreshing to this track, which can play towards speed. He has a very good posture to go away with it. I'm going to give him a shot on the ticket. The 1-horse Ferocious for Gustavo Delgado and Luis Saez also, I think, could run a good race. Originally, Castellano was supposed to ride the horse Javier, but with him still being injured, not 100%, Luis is going to get the booking today. This horse ran terrifically behind Chanceman Patrick, who's actually running today in the Champagne. In the Hopeful, most recently, where he finished second by half a length, Chanceman Patrick just had a little bit more ground to gain and got the job done. This horse come from a little bit closer. He just missed, but he ran his heart out, 65 cents a dollar. On debut in August, going 6th in the main special weight on the mud, he won by 7 3/4 lengths that day. And again, he didn't break so well, but he really grinded it out to the wire. A very good effort. Another horse training well. He should definitely get the trip. He should stay forever here. So, I'm going to use him. They think highly of him. They bought him earlier this year for $1.3 million. So watch out for him in this one here today. But to recount my selection for the 9th from Keeneland, it is the Breeders' Futurity. Going to take the 5-horse East Avenue. Give kudos to the 1-horse Ferocious. 5-1. 10-4 Super, 5-1 in the multi-race. Let's get to the feature 10th or co-feature 10th race from Keeneland, which is the Coolmore Turf Mile. It's a Grade 1 event going for a $1.25 million purse race for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses going 1,600 meters or a mile here in the Coolmore Turf Mile. If I'm not mistaken, I believe now this race is worth more money than the Bluegrass and all those other races. Between this race and the Maker's Mark in the spring, I think the Maker's Mark is my favorite race, but this comes a very close second behind it. There's something about mile races at Keeneland that just always exciting races. On turf. With that being said, I'm going to go with the 3-horse More Than Looks, 3629 in the Superfecta, 3629 Super. Top selection, 3-horse More Than Looks, 4 called by More Than Ready. Cherie DeVoe trains. Jose Ortiz gets to mount. They ran the horse most recently in the 4-star Dave handicap off the bench at the Spa, a mile in the inner, the 11th of August, and the horse finished second by 3 1/4 lengths that day. And he didn't want to, he got out of the gate, but he really wanted to go. But I just had a bit of a tough hold on the horse. He closed up well late behind Carl Spackler. He ran his heart out, but he wants to go, a longer trip, he wants to go back to a race where he has a stronger trip up front, shall I say. He's probably going to get it today, and I think he'll find that trip to get the good turn of foot to win today, but not a bad race in defeat last time out. He ran terrifically second-time older horse in the Breeders' Cup Mile at Santa Anita last fall over the mile. He finished 6th by 2 lengths, and he closed up from nowhere, basically last from a stupidly wide posture. Gained a lot of ground. Not a bad race in defeat that day. And then the Jefferson Cup at Churchill over the mile last September. He won by 2 3/4 lengths, closing up from nowhere. Again, slow pace to close up into it, but he did that just going away. And, his coming out party was last year's Manila Stakes at Belmont, the Widener going a mile, winning by 1 1/4 lengths again from mid-pack. Not the best beginnings, but again, he just went for fun. He's training well in the dirt on this course. See a strong pace in this one. I think he could win. I think the 6-horse here, Talk of the Nation, for Todd and Johnny, can win also. He was a winner most recently, the gun runner last September at Churchill, at Kentucky Downs over the mile, winning by a half length from a tracking trip. He went away with it. Came back to run the Byron Station last fall here, where he finished second by a head, just missing. And if you look at some of his races this year, he's been running high 90 buyers, nearly 100 buyers, but just not winning. Very good place in the opening versus behind Carl Spackler. Okay third in the Poker. That was probably his worst race of the season. Terrific place in the Kelso. I thought his 4th going a mile and a quarter in the Colonial Arlington Million. Probably just didn't want to get the trip, but he ran his heart out that day. And then ran the Mint Million at Kentucky Downs, where he finished 3rd by 1 3/4 lengths. Again, getting around the race course well. He's due for a victory. I think he can get it here. I would use him. Even the 2-horse Kai Cooley for Frankie and Harry Carlton coming in from the UK to run this horse. His race 3 back in the Jersey Stakes at Ascot wasn't bad at all, and his Hungerford wasn't bad at all. He wants fast ground. He's going to see it today. If you look at his form lines, that's when he runs good, getting to the fast ground. I'm going to give him a shot, but this will be the first time he's going around 2 turns. He's basically running around down the 1 mile straightaways in Europe. He had a 1 turn at Sandown, a right-hand turn, so he's going to be completely different from what he's been doing in Europe, but I think he has the ability to win at 4-1. Let's use him on the ticket in this very, very good race. But to recount my selection for the 10th from Keeneland now, it is the Coolmore Turf Mile. We're going to take the 3-horse More Than Looks. We'll give kudos to the 6-horse Talk in the Nation, the 2-horse Kaikuli, 3629 Super, 362 in the multi-race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.